Good evening. Why's my sound all over the place? Oh, fucking Windows update, of course. Yeah, that tracks. I think when I started up today, Windows had enough of me knocking back the time before I, updated, so, yeah. That fucking tracks. Ah, well. Right. So, yeah, I think this week is gonna be a little busy, perhaps. I'm hedging my bets and going, fuck it, we'll do some Machinist tonight. And then see how the rest of the week goes. I can't remember if, FanFest... I can't remember if FanFest stuff starts my Saturday or my Friday. I'm pretty sure it's Saturday, because that would be, like, 12 hours after the EU starts having their Saturday morning, which is when that is. So I think I'm still going to be doing a Friday night stream. What we're going to do that night, I don't think I'm going to get through... I don't think I'm going to get to be able to do Stormblood Machinist and the follow-up by then. I'd have to bust my ass to do that, and... No, this is... My little leveling bit with, the jobs is always just a nice break from things, and if nothing else. So, yeah, that ain't happening. But, yeah. I think we're all good. So, well, not that. No, not that either. Yeah. Recap real quick. So, we proved to, many people of Ishgard that the Machinists are worth their salt. And... tentatively, at the very least. But now we actually have to put... now we are going to be put to the proof by actually fighting dragons and participating in the Dragon Song War, I presume. Not only that, but June... Is it June? Oh my god. Hold on. June, right? I'm not crazy? Yeah, Joy. Oh, sorry. Not June, Joy. Fuck. I've got Akane on the brain, clearly. I at least had the J right, and there was an E at the end, which is typically not how you spell Joy, but, yeah, so Joy has married into a family, which means that she no longer works at, Stephanie Vian's house's mansion and that, which means she has also abandoned the manufactory, and I guess we're just gonna try and deal with that. Stephanie Vian would ask for your assistance in his latest project. There you are, Pendleton. 'Twould seem that 'tis not only Joy, but her father as well who was vanished from the city. Oh, good. Celesto is out asking questions, but there are few answers to be had. Rather than sit here on our hands whilst we wait for a revelation, however, I would prefer we begin preparations for our engagement alongside House Zamail. Hey, Haunted, how's it going? Zamails have been struggling to restore the township of Falcon's Nest, an enterprise that has been interrupted time and time again by marauding Dravanians. The signs and a steady trickle of scouting reports suggest that the dragons are massing for a significant assault on the settlement. Its fortifications are not complete, and it will be the aim of our allied operation to defend those half-finished structures from the ravages of the Horde. I expect House Haliarth shall be positioned on the front lines of this conflict. Should we fight well, the dragons will be routed. Should we fight poorly, our reputation will suffer. From Lord... oh god. Tettle Grinch's perspective, either result is a victory. Going great, got home from Billy Talent and God. Killer fucking shows, watched the entire time. Very sore. I can imagine. Yeah, fuck. I saw in Discord that you were, like, interviewing Billy Talent, and, like, oh god, I haven't listened to Billy Talent in, like, fuck, that might actually be, like, a decade. Because it was back when... yeah, that would have been right out of university for me. So, like, when I was, like, 19 or 20 or something, there was a big Australian festival that used to happen down here that did, like, a multiple-day thing, and a friend of mine got me into Billy Talent, and we went to see them during that festival. But, yeah, that must have been, like, 2010, 2011 or something like that. Fucking... actually, you know what? Let me look that up. But yeah, when I saw that, I was teleported into the past. Like, I legit had not heard about them in a very long time. Yeah, 2011. Holy shit. Actually, no, wait. No, 2009? Are you serious? Oh, no. Oh, no, I was a fucking baby. That's actually during high school. Oh, fuck. Oh. Yeah, no. That was 12 years ago. Oh, yeah. But, yeah, like, I think, like, that's Billy Talent 3 era. Yeah, absolutely. In fact, you retweeted a clip of something from Billy Talent playing on stage. And yeah, that's the one song that's still seared into my head that I can vaguely remember. But yeah, that must have been a real good time. I'm very jealous. But yeah, good to hear that was a good night. Cause I mean... it's hard to not expect that, but at the same time, like, it is good to see that, like, musicians that, you know, have been around for a long time, or may not have performed in a long time, are still still have it. For the future of machinistry, however, we cannot afford to fail. Thus have I focused my energies towards designing an attachment that will improve our chances of success. Now, the problem, which I was hoping you might help me solve, is the acquisition of suitable components. The swiftest way to create new technology is by repurposing the old. To that end, I would have you infiltrate Castrum Sentry and salvage a goodly number of War Machina parts. The Guardians there may take a dim view of your efforts to liberate the supplies. Yeah, no shit. Would there even be any Garleans left there? I have to imagine that most of them were cleared out by that point, by this point, because, like... Ben can't do the squeal voice like he used to, but damn, can he get close. Yeah, that's something I've found with a lot of, like, metal vocalists, depending on how, like, well they manage their actual voice, they can usually still get there, because it's... the guttural and stuff like that tends to not change with age as much, as long as you're not fucking up your voice. But I found, like, there are a lot of punk singers, especially, who can't do the mid-yell or the high-yell sort of thing. But, like, yeah, that's just either age or, like, them being old enough musicians that people hadn't figured out how you do that without ruining your fucking voice. Fuck, the fact that he could still get close is actually kind of impressive anyway. Well, regardless. So, this is probably as good a time as any, to talk about Machinist more mechanically. I don't think I'm a fan of it. And obviously, judging it on level 50 is, like... Judging it on level 50 is unfair, because, like, how many more extra things is this, job gonna get between now and then? Like, yeah. I don't fucking know. I certainly won't know until it actually happens. But, regardless, there's something about the way the cooldowns in particular kind of fit together that I'm really not a fan of. I think it is mostly hypercharge. Yeah, I honestly recommend you look back into them. They legit, in my opinion, don't have a bad album. It's all heat. I remember thinking that. They're one of the few bands that, like... I feel like depending on the band, you either get two situations are really common. You either get, albums that are entirely good, and then every now and then you get a full album that's just kind of eh. Or you consistently get albums that are partially amazing with, like, some hit or misses or some stuff that's just kind of mid. Or maybe, like, concept-wise, the album doesn't quite fit together. Billy Talent is one of the ones that I, at the time at least, I haven't listened to them in fucking forever, is one of the few that, like, were pretty fucking solid. Like, just, like, they still had variants, but, like, usually front to back, every album was like, yeah, that was real good. Even if there were, like, some favorites in there, it still felt like, no, this entire album was still pretty solid. And I feel like very few bands kind of hit that well. Like, generally speaking, it's usually a lot more, no, I just fucked that up. Wait, what? Oh, right, because that has a cooldown before it does that. Fuck. I also don't think I've figured out a good, button layout for this job, to be honest. Dyson Sphere program has my head spinning. Oh, no. Also, hi, Rizaki. Also, Haunted, what did you mean by also have you been? Oh, how have you been? Oh my god, I can't fucking read. Awesome. This is a reading stream tonight. I'm doing alright. Okay, so, content warning for blood. I had a capillary burst in my eye. And everything's fine, so far as I know. But yeah, I had that hanging over my head all weekend, and I was, like, understandably very worried that something was very wrong. But from what I managed to piece together, online from certain health resources, and also when I spoke over the phone to my GP to get an appointment, it's a thing. It happens. It can be from something as simple as you rubbed your eye too much. And I know my eyes have been watering a lot, and there are times where, like, I will be really stubborn and just go, like, no, my eye's only going to water for a couple more seconds and it'll be fine, so I just use it with I use my finger instead of a tissue. And I know for sure I rubbed this one raw a little bit earlier in the week. So, yeah, that wasn't great, but luckily, from what I looked up, it should pass in a week. Unless it, like, sticks around that whole time, which might be a problem. It hasn't. It's going away as we speak. The worst I got out of it was just a little irritation, which, again, is all that it really is. It doesn't impair vision or anything, and I've just got to make sure I get a checkup in, like, a week or two to see how it is, and possibly follow just, like, a couple of checkups, like, blood and cardiovascular-wise, to make sure there isn't stuff like clotting that might be causing that. So, other than that, I've been pretty good. Also, Haunted. Please play El Paso elsewhere. That game's fucking rad. I noticed you commented on me starting to play it, and like, dude, that game is incredible. 100% recommend that. I'm about halfway through it. It's great. Yeah, I've never had that, Ryuzaki. I sneeze really hard, though. But generally speaking, my eyes are closed when I do that, and I haven't ever had that. Usually, like, I feel it all through my head. It's not great. That was another thing I thought might have actually caused the blood vessel to pop, is apparently that is also another thing that can happen. But yeah. Yeah. It was not a fun thing to discover Friday during the day while I was working. Like, I went to the mirror, and I was like, I don't know what I was doing. I think I was, like, washing my face or something. And I've like, basically, like, put moisturizer on the top of my lid, and accidentally pulled up the right one, and I saw blood, and I went, ugh, what? So yeah, I was very worried initially, but it's fine now. Joy gone from the workshop, I have no one else to whom I can entrust such duties. It's no simple task, I know, but I must have those components. Complex-looking contraptions employed by the Garlean Empire to repair their Magitech machinery. Splendid! These parts will do much to speed the construction of my invention. Now, if only Joy will return to us. Despite Celesto's most earnest efforts, however, it would appear that his contacts in the Broom have elected to spurn his inquiries. I sense an unseen hand. A sizable purse behind the sudden rash of reticence. I'm happy if you were to ask after the old hunter's disappearance instead, then the Broom's inhabitants would be more forthcoming. Oh yeah, you can ask about father instead. Because people might be stupid enough to not think to say nothing about that. Wait, we're asking people in the Broom? What? Why would the people in the Broom be... Oh, I guess Joy was probably, yeah, living in the Broom. That kind of makes sense. Ugh. Hey. Oh, aye. The creaky old hunter. He got himself paying work and saw his little girl get married on the same day. The husband said to be the brother of some famous carpenter, and that he don't even need a job to get by. Interesting. Ooh, you mean the one whose daughter caught herself a husband in Falcon's Nest? Oh, he's probably there with her. He's probably there with her, ain't he? Oh, there we go. Wait, if I... What? That's kind of weird. Okay, hold on. No, so... Hang on, I need to go back through the dialogue real quick. Despite Celesto's most earnest efforts, however, it would appear that his contacts in the Broom have elected to spurn his inquiries. That's really strange that someone was just, like, someone would be like, oh, sorry, Joy, we don't know what happened to her. And then when I ask, well, what about her father? They're like, oh, yeah, she got married in Falcon's Nest. It's like, that's a really strange writing choice. Eh? That old hunter fellow. I thought he'd left to start a new job someplace else. He was always cursing how his old wounds kept him from practicing his trade. I suppose he found himself something new. Why would... Yeah, that's really weird. It's like, oh yeah, Celesto... Like, either Celesto's contacts are shit, or Celesto's contacts in particular had been paid off. But then, like... There's contacts in the broom. What did Stephanivian... Sense an unseen hand... Mayhap if you were to ask after the old hunter's disappearance instead, then the broom inhabitants would be more forthcoming. Yeah, like, the implication there is that people in the broom are not going to tell you about what happened to Joy. But then someone was willing to divulge that as a part of telling you where her father was? That's really weird. Never had a fellow commoner refuse to talk to me before. Is this what it feels like to be an outsider? Yeah. Were you able to wring any information from the broom? Unless that's suggesting that there's something up with Celesto. That's the only other thing I can think of. Other than it just being bad writing, it's like, okay, if this is intentional, either A, Celesto is bad at his job for not just asking people in the broom. B, Celesto's contacts were bought off. Or C, Celesto is in on it. New job for him and a husband for his daughter in Falcon's Nest. They've been taking on a good number of laborers and such to help with the town's restoration. I mean, a half-crippled hunter might find some kind of work for himself there. Yes, my prospectometer points unerringly to the west. We shall head to Falcon's Nest and seek out Joy and her father. Okay, good. I'm glad we're doing this now. Again, it would have been really simple to get some information about what was going on and then be like, well, I guess we'll have to get to that next quest because you already did a task. Which, granted, the two things we're kind of doing are a bit, like, disconnected, but at the same time, like, there are two kind of parallels going on here. Oh. Why can't I click on Celesto? She must be here somewhere. Get out of here. Wow, that's a long cast bar. Any sign of her? Oh. There she is. His lordship? What is he doing here? Joy, please. I ask only that you listen for a moment. Will you and your husband not consider working for me in the manufactory? I can't do that, my lordship. I can't be a machinist no more. It's best for everyone if I leave that life behind. What do you mean, best for everyone? Is that what is best for you? Oh my god, if the fucking commander of the fucking House Zamail is actually the one that married her, I'm gonna fucking vomit. All I want for me is a simple life. One that won't cause problems for those who've shown me such kindness. I'm glad we could talk this one last time, your lordship. I'll be praying that you and your machinist get the recognition you deserve. But you had the magical girl transformation with the gun. And you talked a whole lot of shit. And had the gun to back it up. I always thought Joy was happiest when she had the stock of her flintlock in her hand. Will she now sacrifice that happiness for the satisfaction of others? Or is it that she never truly wished to be a machinist? Mainly suffered the training at my insistence. By arming the commoners, was my intention to place them on equal footing with the nobles who seek to rule them. Caught in the throes of self-righteous ambition, and mayhap I have treated them no better. Ooh, Seems his lordship is having himself a crisis of faith. Might be as you could lend him a sympathetic ear, eh? I'll join you back at the workshop in a bit. There's something I want to look into first. In Ishgardians and their class drama. I do really like the position that the machinists have, or that Stefanivian specifically, and I guess the Skysteel Manufactory in particular is in, like, trying to actually redress some of the power imbalance between the nobles and the commoners. Because even with, like, the end of Heavensward becoming a lot, the entire structure of government becoming a bit more democratic, like, there is still that huge divide there. That some group like Skysteel Manufactory might be able to, you know, make a decrease that gap a little bit. Oh, I should have talked to Celeste first. Fuck me. I've run my prospectometer through all possible permutations, but the result is always the same. Focus on the preparations for the Allied operation. So we just give up on bringing Joy back? Should we fail, the house is a mile, and the reputation we built at the tourney will crumble into dust. We'd have to begin again, brick by brick. A moment, my lord. I lingered behind in Vulcan's nest to see if I could find Joy's father. He was nowhere to be found. Got a feeling something ain't right there. Well, Joy herself has no wish to be a machinist, then what more can I do? It's not my place to meddle in her affairs. Oh, I see how it is. I thought you different from them other nobles, but you're all the same. Only interested in helping commoners as long as they're doing your bidding. I've had enough of taking orders. This time I went my own way. Whoa. You know what? Fair. Like, on one hand, I definitely understand where Stefanivian is coming from. Like, if Joy has independently made this choice, then, yeah, we should respect that. But if there is foul play going on, like, what, we're just gonna leave that to thing, or we're just gonna leave her in that situation? I think Celesto is being slightly unfair, though, because yeah, and this is obviously, like, creating friction in the job quest, but, like, the issue Stefanivian takes with it is more, like, not like trying to help Joy, not trying to not help Joy because she's not on our side anymore, but because she is telling us not to do that. So yeah. See how this develops. It's for you to judge. Do not underestimate your own contributions. Oh, speaking of which, I had promised to use those components you brought me to build a new weapon. Naught else, we have certainly made advances in the field of machinistry. Such a tangible measure of progress cannot be ignored. Yes. Our prospectometer was so overloaded with peripheral problems, I failed to see the practical evidence of our success. The path is steep and our steps are small, but that does not mean the destination is beyond us. I will ask much of you in the coming days, Pelton, and I shall see that you are the most well-equipped machinist in the short history of machinistry, by giving you every new feature I've ever thought of. Here's the auto crossbow. Congratulations, you're now the most well-fitted machinist we have here. That didn't take long. Joyful reunion. Stefanivian would have you join the House Samael operation. I hope your firearm is loaded and ready, Pelton. We have received our deployment orders from House Samael. Several groups of Dravanians are converging on Falcon's Nest. We have been tasked with eliminating the fiends gathered upon the Black Iron Bridge. Knowing Tettle Grinch, and I unfortunately do, I would not put it past him to lure more foes into the narrow structure simply to overtax us. And we must needs overcome this assault without Joy's help. Or Celesto's, for that matter. He has yet to return since he stormed out the door. I will assemble our remaining machinists and lead them to Falcon's Nest. Pray join us there as soon as you may. Oh, right, yeah, I can just walk. It's a good thing I can just walk there, because goddamn do I hate trying to click around the goddamn quest marker. Oh, that's appropriate. Oh no. I don't like that music. Ah, Pelton. I fear Celesto's departure has inspired his fellows to disregard my commands. You are the only machinist to answer my call to arms. Really? Huh. And in response to this insubordination, I've been forced to deploy what few knights we could spare, myself included. They even begged me to come along. As I've said before, fighting bloody dragons ain't in me contract, so they'll be paying me handsomely for that. Is this House Halionart's entire company? Seem to be short a number of machinists. We are keeping our colleagues in reserve. For an operation such as this, we need field-only Pelton, finest machinist in our ranks. Oh, your confidence is truly inspiring. Thankfully, however, there are few enemies threatening the Black Iron Bridge. Even with your sparse numbers, I dare say you shan't be sorely pressed. Oh. Hey. Celesto! Have you come to fight with us? That all depends on you, my lord. We found Joy's father. He's been held prisoner in the brew. What? Held prisoner? You suspect this is some manner of coercion? I reckon they've been targeting Joy for a while. Her dad vanished right after he landed a job here in Falcon's Nest. And Joy suddenly up and wed the brother of a carpenter working on the fortifications. House Samael is behind this, or I'm a Chocobo's third cousin. Tettle Grinch, you cad! It's not too late. If we break her dad out, then Joy can abandon her farce of a marriage and come back to the manufactory where she belongs. But the bridge, the Dravanians. Go. Joy is a machinist. As a manufactory chief, 'tis your duty to attend to your employees. My knights and I shall march for House Halionart. You needn't worry. I'll have yours truly fighting right beside him. Go up the boss, Pelton. Pelton goes and I'll stay behind. We promise. There's too many Elizons with no distinctive, really, ages or features or anything. And we don't want to break our word, do we? Just one should be enough. Thank you. Thank you all. We should conclude this matter with the greatest of haste and return as swiftly as we may. Find one of our manufacturing machinists in the broom. He'll show you where Joy's dad is being held. I only have so many posh Ellison voices in me. I have, like, baseline voices and then modifiers for age and stuff like that I can apply, but, like, that doesn't turn into many voices I can actually do. Slesso said you'd come. Chief will draw too much attention, so we asked him to wait at the workshop until we're ready to act. Joy's status right behind that door over there. We just need to convince the bloke standing guard to open it. You don't exactly look the stoic type, though, so a Gorse round ought to have him piss in his trousers. Yeah, just fucking shoot him. I love how many things in this quest are just like, in this quest line are just like, okay, we have a situation. We really need for this thing to move or go away from us. What can we do? I've got it. What? Gorse round? Oh, this one. Right. Oh, what in the... You shot me! No, I didn't. Please, I ain't done nothing wrong. Some fancy fop dropped a pouch in me lap and told me to guard the door. I swear that's all I know. How much did he pay you? Oh, Jesus. Not enough to die over me, Lord. Please don't shoot me again. It's just not my intention to threaten you. We merely wish you to release the man behind yonder door. And should you fear the vengeance of your employer, you're welcome to take shelter at the manufactory. In fact, why not become a machinist? Then you didn't take such unsavory job again. You're offering me work, my lord? I'll let the bloke out for that. Else I'll carry him across the city and back for a steady wage. It's kind of amazing how much of this is holy shit. He's short as fuck. Lord Stephanivian, me humble thanks. You've been locked away for quite some time, my poor man. Do you know who did this to you, or why? I've not the faintest idea, my lord. I was hired by House Sabail to work on their walls, and when I went to join the crew heading out for Falcon's Nest, some bastard, begging your pardon, my lord, slipped a sack over me head and carted me away. I'm just a broken old hunter. I ain't got money for ransom, nor does me family. Got to thinking that maybe they nabbed the wrong bloke. And you aren't aware that Joy was wed, or that she resigned from her position at both the manor and the manufactory? She got married and quit? Why'd she do a foolish thing like that? I've never seen her happier than when she's singing one of them flintlocks. Ah, that's why they took me. They're blackmailing me, little Joy. Oh, ain't no way she'd just up and marry some bloke what wouldn't let her stay at the workshop. And she was a machinist by her own choice. Oh, I'm full glad to hear that. It's time we liberated your daughter from her false union. When she sees you are safe, I do not envy the man who pretends at the role of her husband. Yeah. I knew you set things right, my lord. You take care of Joy. I'll tell the rest of the machinists that they can come back to work. Alright then, lad. You come with me. I will speak with Joy and unravel this nonsense. You, however, must make haste to the Black Iron Bridge and lend your barrel to the battle. See, this is another thing that's sometimes missing from the job quests, is stuff that's happening in parallel. A lot of the times what's happening in the MSQ, or what happens in the MSQ, is that you'll tag along with some people to do some work, and then something else will come up, and they'll be like, hey, we can handle this for now, and we'll get this to some point in the future when you come back, or something else once you get back in the future, but you go and do that thing. It creates a lot more of like a living world in the grand scheme of things, but in smaller circumstances like this, it also gives a sense of action that some of the side quests honestly don't have. And for some of them, that's fine, because, like, you might be doing something like the Red Mage quests, where, like, everyone's just kind of scratching their head going, oh god, where do we find this forbidden tome? They would talk about fucking people messing around with Void Sent and shit like that. Or it is you and Ymitra in the Summoner quest line looking into the one thing together because you've been threatened by some summoner that could, you know, kill the both of you, so you travel together to make sure that doesn't happen. But I think there's a lot of situations that do miss that. And... oh, no. What's going on here? Uh-oh. Hold that thought. I appreciate when a job quest is able to actually do that and sell this kind of, like, active situation, because there is multiple things going on. Because we are being pressed from both sides to basically be set up to fail. Oh, about time you got back. You found Joy's dad, then. Good. Now it's up to the boss to bring her back. Fighting has been fierce. Master Rossensol was injured when he gallantly intercepted a swipe meant to remove my head. Bah! It's a noble way of saying it tripped over its bloody tail and stumbled into the blow. On any road. You'll have to take me place on the front lines, and do it soon, before those dainty knights get their asses handed to them. No, don't kill him. Don't kill him. Oh, Jesus, what was that? Nice. Actually didn't realize auto crossbow didn't refresh the 2 CDs I have. You was missing a few mates, but you still took care of business. Not that I'd expect aught less from one of me star students. Star indeed. Your arrival was a gift from the heavens. Oh, shit. Huh. Yeah. How'd you like that, you great scaly bastard? Let's go. I'm afraid I've caused a great deal of trouble for you all. Thank you for rescuing me, Dad. Oh, shit. Oh, just no trouble at all. For such a fine, for such a fine employee. As you are now wed, I understand that you may not wish to resume your duties at the manor, but... have you considered my son's offer that you and your husband come to work at the manufactory? Me husband and me have agreed to part ways. If it please me, lord, I'd like to start working again at the workshop and the manor both. Oh. So, yeah, hey, so, Joy? What's up with that? Wait, I think we're skipping an important detail here, like, what happened with the... Joy, my dear. You are most welcome, of course. Neither the manor nor the manufactory have been the same without you. I'm just here for flavor. Your lordship, I don't know how to... That is to say... Holy shit, the eye movement. I'm glad to be back. Yes, would someone like to enter stage left? Yeah, enter from stage left. Hey. Ah, I see even for the much diminished House Alienart, a handful of dragons poses no true threat. I shall have to find a more significant challenge for our next outing. It would seem that you still do not understand that the knight is the master of the battlefield. But... because we killed dragons, you didn't expect us to... That was far more than a handful of dragons, tell the Grinch. Do you think us blind? We know who was working against the manufactory. We know whose underhanded villainy forced Joy into wedlock. Whatever are you implying? You speak as if I recall the names of your low-born servants, holding with the slightest interest in their common unions. Now, if you'll excuse me, my lords. Or my lords. Sorry, just checking something real quick. Okay. I thought I saw OBS flicker for a second, and I was like, oh shit, did the stream restart without me knowing? But no, it looks like I'm good. Okay. Damn that man and his arrogance. Prospector Meter and I shall remain vigilant that we may defeat Telda Grinch's trickery at every turn. Telda Grinch's? The accolades for this triumph, however, must go to you, Pelton. The bridge is clear, and Joy's returned to us. I was afraid I'd seen the last of the manufactory. Thank you again for the warm welcome home. I've never felt as whole as after I did, I never felt as whole as I did after I joined the ranks of the machinists. When I had to tell his lordship I was quitting, I felt like I was leaving a part of me soul behind. That's when I realized, to me, being a machinist is more than just firing a weapon. It's a way of connecting to another side of myself. Well, now that you're connected again, we can get back to working on your shooting and your swearing. Yes, I get to learn more curse words. There was also a small matter of our delayed tourney celebration. If it please my lordship, I'd like to do some training instead. Feel the need to shoot off 10 scored bullets or so. Ah, of course. We can celebrate in our own way. Fire at will, my dear. I, for one, am eager for a stiff drink back at the manufactory. All the celebration was going to be me giving you a new gun and you could shoot that. Like, it wasn't all that fancy. Stephanivian, are you crying? No. I just need a stiff drink is all. I would bet he had something planned, and it's just like, throwing that away, because, like, no, I'm not gonna... Well, like, oh, God. Wow, I stumbled all the way through that one. Yeah, fuck it. Once more, you've proven your worth to the Machinist and to House Halienart. As for Lord Teldegrinch, I had my suspicions, but it now seems abundantly clear that he has been behind every mishap and misfortune to befall the manufactory. Despite his knavery, however, our success in the field will not have escaped the notice of the Holy See. And as our reputation grows, so too will Teldegrinch's ire. You'd best be on our guard. Oh, did you hear? During his skirmish with the dragons, Rostenthal developed a new technique. He was adamant that I pass on the particulars to you. I do kind of appreciate how, like, all of the abilities you're gaining as a machinist is basically everyone putting their heads together to think of some new way of doing shit. It's very good flavor. Like, and it fits a lot given the fact that, you know, the machinist is a very new thing. Obviously, it couldn't have existed before, like, Magitech and similar things ended up in the hands of people who weren't Garleans, basically. Yeah, it's a very nice touch. Stefanivian seems in a cheerful mood. Greetings, Pelton. Is this not a wonderful day to be a machinist? Lord Stefanivian de Halienart, you and the Skysteel Manufactory employees are under your authority, are hereby charged with fomenting insurrection. Insurrection? My dear sir, I have fomented nothing of the sort. You stand accused of arming commoners with weapons of war, and discharging said weapons within the locality of the Broom. Ah, that little scene when we liberated Choice Father. Henceforth, the manufactory shall remain under Temple Knight surveillance. Should you fail to refute the accusations against you within the allotted time, punishment may include seizure of your workshop and imprisonment for all those deemed accomplices to the crime. Here we take that smirking fox. Teldegrinch knew we would attempt a rescue. Once they set their sights on Samot, them Temple Knights is like a bandersnatch with a bone. You'd best say farewell to your workshop. I'll not take my manufactory. I'll think of something. Time to think. That Teldegrinch bastard's always 2 steps ahead. How could they have twisted me dad's rescue into an act of insurrection? Once they set their sights on Samot, then... Oh, yeah. Wow, okay, thanks, Rostenthal. It's difficult to prove the truth of something one has not done. Mayhap the wiser course would be to provide evidence of Teldegrinch's wrongdoing. He's a clever bastard, though, that one. You might try... Oh, I best not overstep me bounds. My contract's almost done in any case. I'll be moving on no matter what happens to the workshop. Oh yeah, thanks, Rostenthal. Instructor, you sure didn't like to get involved. As for me, I'll see if I can find any strings connecting House Demile to their crimes. Forgotten Knight should be a good place to start. Yes, as good as any. I don't know what I'd do without the workshop. I'll see if I can't get some folks talking. That leaves you and me, Pelton. I believe I shall remain here in the manufactory to occupy the gaze of the Temple Knights whilst you aid Celesto with his inquiries. Yeah, it's probably for the best. What other abilities do we get before... Oh, that's right, we get Drill. Yeah, so coming back to the mechanics for a little bit, one of the things I don't like is the way that you kind of have to use hypercharge. And I'm not saying this is bad design, I'm just not personally a fan of it. Because basically, you want to line up hypercharge with a particular part of the cooldown of Ricochet and Gorse rounds so you don't lose a charge. Because you start firing off, Heat Blast, and... Excuse me. You start firing off Heat Blast, and these two get 15 seconds restored to their charge time. Restored to their charge timer. So you want to start casting Heat Blast at around that time, because that gives you the most room on the second charge you're using to actually hit. So I can't really. Maybe I'll get to. Maybe I'll finish this off when I have somewhere to actually show off the combat a little bit. I appreciate you coming out, Pelton. It's a bit hard planning in the workshop, what with the Temple Knight's eyeball and overmove. We should be able to talk freely in here, though. Do you recall the bloke as was standing guard over Joy's dad? Alright. Fredio is his name. He took to marksmanship with a passion. Actually, how do you pronounce... Hang on. I'm gonna see if I can... French pronunciation...
Ooh.
Oh. Okay, yeah, no, I am kind of... I think I'm doing that right, then. Well, that's AUX, not OUX. What?
Oops.
Ooks. Frediux. So AUX is silent. Maybe... He took to marksmanship with a passion and hadn't missed a single day of training. Not until today. I got suspicious, of course, and decided to pay a visit to his home. Right away, you could see the door had been kicked in, so I went inside and had me a proper look. That's when I found a ragged feather just lying on the floor amidst the bits of broken furniture. If I wanted to keep me hands clean... Oh, if I wanted to keep my hands clean, then maybe I'd hire me some thugs from out of town to do poor Fredio. I'm just gonna keep doing the thing. Thugs what might otherwise make a living poaching wild chocobos. I suggest you look to Lord Stephanivian and take a trip out to Tailfeather. I'll keep poking around here in the city and see what else crawls out of the stonework. Oh, hey! You're here. On another table. This is what it's taken. Okay. Oh god, I feel like there was something else I was going to say about machinists, but now I can't remember. Whoops. Oh, yeah, I can get to that in a second, actually. Well, this may be our best lead. If we can track down the man who first employed Fredio, then we shall have a solid link to House Samael. Let us waste no time. Onward to the Dravanian Fallens and to Tailfeather. But I might be able to get in some combat here, so I can at least kind of show what I'm talking about. But one of the other things that I don't like about it is how, like, GCDC... sorry. Actually, no, wait, that's... Yeah, no. How GCD cooldown heavy it is. So there's like a decent amount of abilities with cooldowns, or actually just cooldown heavy in general, I think. It's not necessarily the GCDs. Although there are two separate ones, which I'm like, fucking pick a thing. One of the things that I found out in WoW that I really didn't like is that I didn't like classes that were, or specializations that were very focused around cooldowns. Just hit it when the time is up, hit this when the time is up, hit this other thing when the time is up. That was just something I didn't really like. I liked a lot more proc-based or build and burn in terms of like building up a set of resources and then burning them at the right time. Those are the specializations that I preferred a lot more. And initially when I got to 14, I played Summoner in Shadowbringers, which had a lot of cooldowns. You had two sets of 2-charge edgy assaults. You had Tri-Disaster, which you reset with Dreadworm Trance. Like, there was a few CDs you had to juggle there, but in my mind, they not only did they have multiple charges, so, you know, there wasn't a thing that, like, if you could play in such a way that you'd never, like, really max on them unless you left them alone for ages, which you didn't want to do. But they also felt like resources in and of themselves, because they were your only instant casts. You instant cast them and you were able to move. So you had these things there as a resource on a cooldown. Whereas just damage button on a cooldown was not interesting to me. Initially when I came to 14 and hit Summoner, I was like, oh, maybe I don't dislike this as much as I thought I did, because 14's battle structure is such that there's a less, like, opportunities to deal a lot of damage in short windows as compared to what they're actually doing, which is, like, usually lining up with, like, party cooldowns at most. But then I started playing this, and I'm like, oh god, this is reminding me of, I think it was Enhancement Shaman, in terms of, like, the GCD CDs that I have to hit, and yeah, I'm not a huge fan of that either. So it's like, combining this one thing that that's new that I don't really like, and it's combining this other thing that I already had detested but thought I was okay with, and it's pushing them together, and I'm just not enjoying it mechanically. Good news, Peloton. I have spoken with few of these hunter fellows, and they told me that of a trio of ruffians that passed through here, dragging a man matching Fradio's description. We shall scour the forest to the south. If you will look to the north, do not wait for us. Should you find these ruffians, and pray confront them ere Fradio comes to further harm. Okay, to talk about Gorse Round and Ricochet for a second, though. Because they do have the charge bit, so, you know, I'm a little bit more okay with them, and they're not on the GCD, so they're not, like, cluttering up this, like, combo space that I really have. But my problem with them is more that, my problem with them is that you need to work them with Heat Blast in a very specific way. So, you can think of the cooldown for something like Ricochet as 2 sections of 15 seconds, because Heat Blast restores 15 seconds to each of them. So you think of them as 2 halves. Now, depending on where you are in that 15 seconds, it can be a good or bad idea to hit Hypercharge and start Heat Blasting. And the reason is that if you are too late in any particular 15-second chunk, you are going to cap resources. Like, you're going to cap charges. There is no way to work around it. There is absolutely nothing you can do if you've activated it at that point. I think the one thing you can do is you can work in a GCD during the Hypercharge window, because you have more time to burn the attacks than it takes to actually burn them. So you can shuffle it around a bit, but it's like 2.5 seconds at most. And if you're just past the 7-second mark in that 15-second window, you're capping charges. You are just capping charges. So unless you are really good at keeping those cycling all the time and never missing a beat, the charge thing is not only just keep them off cooldown, it is keep them empty, so that when the charges come back, you have room to actually shoot them. And you need to consider how much of the cooldown is actually left in the 15-second section that it's going through, because otherwise you just cap charges. And that's not a big deal if you're thinking about, if you're just playing the job, because it doesn't lose you that much. However, as someone who does like to try and optimize stuff like this, I don't like the feeling it instills in me.
How did you find me?
Oi.
No witnesses. Cut this one's throat as well.
Yeah, right. Oh yeah, this heated split shot lets me start doing the flips. Which is actually the sickest aspect of Machinists, that, like, at some point, Machinists were like, okay, but what if we shot our gun harder and looked stylish while doing it? Well, actually, not even that. In some cases, it's just like, okay, but what if I shoot my gun while I'm doing a flip? I think that does more damage.
My thanks. Did not expect to see another dawn.
Fredio, not leaking blood, are you? Oh, splendid. You gave us quite a scare.
Forgive me, my lord. Those men, they dragged me from me home. Said they'd hurt me if I didn't swear false witness to the Temple Knights.
You were forced to substantiate their accusations. Then you mainly need withdraw your testimony to strengthen our position. It would be a boon if we were able to provide some manner of physical evidence. Fellow. Seal of House Tamail. It would explain how the ruffians who snatched Fredio were able to enter the city without challenge. Aye, this shall do nicely.
I'm truly sorry, my lord. All it took was one little beating for me to repay your kindness with betrayal, or not darken your doorstep again.
What nonsense! You hardly had a choice in the matter. Continuing your training at the manufactory, however, and continue your training at the manufactory, however, and you'll become more than a match for thugs such as these. Even without a noble's wealth or prestige, common man can earn himself independence. You'll see that a machinist's firearm is far more than just shooting dragons. It can help set you free. His lordship's vision will change Ishgard for the better. Come with us, Fredio. Become the spear and the shield that our city needs.
I'd like that. I like to feel like I'm worth something.
We all make mistakes, my dear fellow. The trick is to learn from them and rise stronger from every defeat. Come, let us return to the manufactory. Tables have turned, my friend. I have submitted the evidence you found to the Temple Knights. With the aid of Fredio's new testimony, we had enough proof to lodge a counter-accusation against Teldegridge. The wheels of justice have begun to turn, and we shall soon be free of these baseless suspicions. In the meantime, Rossenthal requested that I instruct you to remember your bleeding practice drills. Charming fellow. Ah, yes, and that's how I learned Tactician? Wait. Oh, yeah, no. Remember your drills. But I don't know that ability yet. Stepanivian is frustrated by the lack of movement evinced? Oh my god. Evinced. What does evince mean? Reveal the presence of a quality or feeling. Indicate. So, like, similar to evidence? Evince? Huh. I've never heard that word before in my life. I feel like I say that at least, like, once a week playing this game. Stepanivian is frustrated by the lack of movement evinced by the Wheels of Justice. Actually, let me check the pronunciation on that.
Events.
Events. Events, not evince. Events. Hamilton, I trust your training fares well? I have heard naught on the fate of the manufactory, and would welcome fair news from any quarter. Bad news, me lordship. Oh, hells! We talked to a clerk who works at the congregation. He says the accusation against the workshop ain't been lifted yet. What's worse, it seems they ain't inclined to pursue your case against Telgridge, neither. Do not understand. When I presented my evidence to the Temple Knights, the officer in charge seemed convinced of our innocence. Oh, my dear naive Stepanivian. Truth is dictated by the victor, one most skilled in strategy, one most adept at maneuvering, one such as me. Dare you show your face in my manufactory? Have you no shame at all? Shame? Why, you were the one who submitted a forgery of my house's seal in an attempt to deflect your obvious guilt. Oh my god, this guy is a genius! Did he actually hand forged symbols of the House Zamail to the... Oh, okay, no, hang on. What? Okay, wait, walk this back a second. Surely they wouldn't actually be forged if they got them entry to the city. So either Telgrinch made guards look the other way of a forgery, or he's tampered with evidence thereafter. That would be big brain, though. Like, that would be some time-traveling chess shit. Upon review of the evidence, however, Temple Knights shall soon rule in my favor. But our sources were unimpeachable. Our innocence was all but proven. The twice-altered testimony of a commoner is hardly unimpeachable, and you cannot deny claims that the ailing House Halienart has been arming the lowborn and inciting them to seize their independence. We have all heard the shots fired within the city walls. You would twist and corrupt everything we have worked for. As I said, such is the privilege of the victor. If you wish, I might even be willing to teach you how to bend the situation to your advantage. We shall do well enough on our own. Now exit my manufactory ere you find your shiny armor doused with machine oil. You would spurn my generous advice. Would you truly surrender your last chance to demonstrate House Halienart's unswerving devotion to Ishgard's prosperity? There is a beast that has been harassing our supply chains of late. A menace that the Holy See greatly desires to see put down. If you cloistered here amongst your scrap-covered benches, you must have heard tales of the fearsome Very Selen. Very Selen? The same dragon that the Order of the Knights Dragoon has failed time and again to slay? You need to make a bloody show of you, boss. The Holy See has agreed to abolish your trial in exchange for the dragon's death. Pray, send word when you are prepared to face very Selen. I shall organize for a priest to be present and provide you with suitable bait. What could he be planning? My lordship? What do we do? Just confess it. Confess it was me that was firing me weapon. You shouldn't have any trouble laying the blame on a drunken outsider, especially one what's known for his vicious crimes. I ought to get you off the insurrection charges at least. No, you cannot do such a thing. I live half my life in a ship's cabin, and a prison cell ain't much smaller. You can pay me for the time in the brig after they let me out. Alright, fuck. Goddamn, Rosenthal. Just like, alright. I can spend the time in jail. I don't give a shit. Put me in there. I'll stop him, my lordship. By the fury, that man's full of surprises. My prospectometer had naught to say of this eventuality. Cannot allow our instructor to sacrifice himself for the manufactory. I have no choice but to accept Hildegrinch's impossible challenge. But I feel Rosenthal will not be convinced unless we prove we have a chance of defeating very Selen. I do have a machinistry marvel in mind that might just do the trick. Its implementation, however, will require a number of clear lightning crystals, of the like found in the Sea of Clouds. It is said that the Vanus saw such crystals for use in their tribal ceremonies. Pray, steal into Okvunduvana and lighten their baskets a touch. Surely they won't miss a handful or two. Jesus, I haven't been to fucking the Sea of Clouds in forever. I guess the ones at Okvunduvana are tempered, so like stealing from the tempered's a little bit different, but like, jeez. Oh, they're just the tribes. Just steal from them. That's fine. Yeah, no one has anything to say about us just casually stealing from the tribes. Okay, yeah, cool. All right. Well, I guess Stephanivian was also the only one in the room, but then the Warrior of Light's just standing there like... I mean, I guess that's all we have. Yeah, that'll work, I guess. What do we get? Hello, music? Yeah, damn, I really have not been here in ages. I don't remember this music at all. I can hear the motif in it, but... And then we start getting some cool shit. Oh my god, I don't get extra AoE stuff until, like... Was that Shadowbringers? No, it was the end of Stormblood. 70, yeah. Oh. Hi, friends. How can I help you? I also do have to be careful here because I'm not over-leveled. Like, I do kind of like it as a rhythm thing. But I don't particularly like the interaction between the heat gauge's size and the timing you need to actually get in the window that won't let you lose charges. I should say that, like, again, I'm not saying, like, this needs to be changed or it's bad design. It's just something I really don't like. I don't like having a meter that I have to plan around something, like, that kind of tenuous, I guess. Because it's one thing to save resources for a big cooldown or something like that like, is obvious to kind of plan around. But when I have to look at the, like, timers on Ricochet and Gorse round, it's like... ugh. Doesn't feel, it doesn't feel great. I don't actually know, like, what? If you lost a like, let's just say you lost a second. No. It'd be 2 seconds, because the GCD is like 1.25. So it'd be around that. So let's say you lost 2 seconds every time you did that, and you got yourself in a position where you did it all the time. So it's constantly clipping, which means you lose 10 seconds every time. You still use it on cooldown then. So every 3 hypercharges, you're missing 1 use of this, I think? Yeah, like that does have to stack up for a while for it to actually matter. Maybe it's not that big a deal. But yeah, it just doesn't feel great when I'm like, okay, I'm really high on hypercharge, I should probably use it now. Oh wait, I'm gonna cap charges on one thing because obviously I can't because I didn't time it right. It's, you know, it's like a double timing thing basically. I have to consider how many resources I have for hypercharge and whether or not I should spend now or later, or just save it for later. And I have to line it up with the 15-second chunks of thingy. Yeah, you said that before. The ethereal balance of this crystal is tipped completely to the element lightning. Not a single trace of any other 5 elements can be detected. The Vanu Vanu keep crystals such as these under lock and key, bringing them forth only to use in tribal ceremonies. Ah, yes. These are wonderful specimens. These crystals shall allow me to broaden the capabilities of your Aethero Transformer via a more efficient process of energy conversion. I only hope it will be impressive enough to convince our instructor to abandon his foolish course. Oh yeah, I am gonna have to run a dungeon or something. Just to cap out on 60. I don't mind doing that, though. I think the thing is that, like... Oh no, we've still got another thing here. Nice. Still not quite gonna get there, but... Stephanivian has word on the situation with Rostenthal. One of our machinists just returned to report on the situation with Rostenthal. It would seem that Joy and some few colleagues have caught up to him in the pillars. Pray make your way to the scene and persuade the instructor to stand down. Before we do that, though... Yeah, that'll do it. I'll queue for a dungeon in the meantime. I would have done main scenario, but that's going to lock me in for a long time, and I'd rather not, if I can avoid it. Right, where are we going? Oh, yeah, right, the pillars. Tribunal? Tribunal. What? Pebbleton, you've got to stop him. Rosenthal? Should have known you'd be along. Not back. Now, back off before I teach this student the meaning point blank. Talking to you as well, Joy. Step aside. I bloody well will not step aside. Peloton, take the fight out of him with a Gorse round, if you please. That's how it's gonna be, eh? Come on, then. See who shoots first. Well, I am, because you're not doing anything. That... ah. I kind of wish there was a little duty there. Not just, like, casually shooting him. Like...
Oh, bloody hells, that was fast.
Again, this is so small, but this comes back to the Black Mage thing. Black Mage questline thing, where it was like, oh, the Black Mages we fought didn't die from our spells. They died from casting themselves, and it just wasn't mechanically or otherwise communicated. It was only communicated after the fact. It's like... okay, I guess that might be the case, but we're kind of contriving it a little bit. Your students ever strive to impress you, Rosenthal? It is thanks to Pilton's diligence that I was able to once more improve the tools of our trade. Even very Selene cannot stand against the advances we have made in both technique and technology. You must have faith that our machinists will prevail. And though I appreciate your eagerness to occupy a cell on my behalf, such a sacrifice will not hold Teldegrinch's crusade against the manufactory. Yeah, that is true. I might be right about that. He's right about more than just that. You've got to stop underestimating what we're capable of.
I keep forgetting what a stubborn lot I'm dealing with. You're the ones what are challenging the very stones what Ishgard was built on. Alright. I won't give myself up. On one condition. All talk of contracts aside, you let me help in the fight against this very Selene nightmare.
You have always sought to avoid such entanglements before. What has changed?
It's a matter of penance. Back when I was still in charge of the Kudas, I lied to me subordinates. Instead of serving the thalassocracy, I had them lads working to further my own agenda. It all came apart, though, when I sent a glut of them off to die in a battle they had no business being in. I had my eyes on the Admiral's chair, so... see? But what kind of Admiral would do that? It was reckless and selfish, and got a lot of good people killed. After they stripped me of rank, I drowned myself in drink and took up the life of the worst kind of pirate. That soldier I've tried to visit in Camp Outlook, he was one of me lads what survived. I've been sending him every coin I can spare to pay back me bloody debt. There ain't enough gelt in the world what could buy off me guilt. And now, years later, I see a chance to undo the wrong I've done. A bunch of me students plan to charge into a situation they got no business being in, and I plan to see him come out of it alive. Well then, consider yourself invited to the battle. Come, lead us in a pre-battle drill, Rosenthal. Speaking of drills, once more your skill at firearms has rescued the manufactory from peril. Let us head back there, shall we? Like, I'm sure designing a duty just for that is, like, probably more work than it's worth, ultimately. But I think that's the kind of thing that would really sell, moments like that in the, in job quests and that. Keep them, like, unique and kind of, like, on flavor. Alright, quick detour. Ugh. Also, I don't think I said it at the time when I went through this dungeon, but Jesus, this soundtrack is rad. Like,
obviously 14 has good music and shit like that, right? But this track is such an anomaly in being, like, incredibly freeform jazz. And just, like, having a, really unique structure and, like, it's changing time signatures all the time. Like, yeah. I think the thing that made me appreciate that was, like, seeing that someone had to track that in the Final Fantasy, like, music game that was out somewhere recently. Right, yeah, this is a thing. Also, I should probably put that on the bars. Staying there, or looks like we're staying there. Like, someone had to make a rhythm game to this, or rhythm game track to this soundtrack. It's... Do not envy that job whatsoever. Forgetting Machinist has that ability. I also forgot how long this stretches if you're not wall-to-wall pulling. Oh, actually, I should probably be lining the drill up with, what's it called now? Oh, I just fucked up. Yeah, and then you have to make sure you're not doing this during, like, during when you could have been using drill. Like, oh god, I really dislike how this whole fucking, job works. Yippee!
Excuse me. Should have muted myself.
Yeah, like, the whole thing just feels really rigid. So you have to fit... If you're going to use Hypercharge, you have to fit it in between Hotshot, Drill, your, the CDs you actually restore cooldown time to, like, yeah. Not a super big fan of that. Samurai in the party. God, I love Samurai. I was seriously considering maybe switching jobs and or characters for MSQ for Dawn Trail. But, I don't think... Oh, fuck me. No, I did the bad thing. Okay, that is consumed by that, so I probably should be doing that. Fuck that one up. Like, I do like how some of the rhythm for the job actually kind of works in that regard, but yeah, I don't think it's something I'm going to be playing long term. Like, unless you get increases to these charges and it works a little bit differently, because the two charge window is like a little shit in my opinion. Oh, but yeah, I was thinking of going Samurai, but, like, I think, like, Aldine is probably the character I'm going to keep on the Oceania server as the main that I work with. So, like, putting someone I'm probably going to use more as, like, another server character is probably not a good idea for having as the main MSQ thing. But yeah. What? These are kind of the buttons I should be hitting for combos and that. Oh, I should reassemble that one. Okay. Final boss. Oh, Jesus. Almost ran the wrong direction. Good job checking behind you, dickhead. God, that fucking... Like, that flip is so fucking cool. I wish I enjoyed Machinist more. No. Oh, fuck that one up. Oh, actually, maybe I'll cut it fine. Yep. I was a little too close to that. Anything for me? Oh, wow, I got 2 commendations out of that. Damn. I'll take that. But, like, yeah, like, at the end of the day, I could also just literally play Machinist, just not thinking too much about the hypercharge thing. But I know it's gonna bother me, and if that becomes important later on, like, yeah, it's all over. Do I see any... Let's just have a look. Oh, allows a third charge of Ghost Round and Ricochet. Okay, that's fine. No, that's actually fine then. So, in Shadowbringers, I just get the ability to ignore that whole timing window thing. Done. Easy. Hi, Young5, how's it going? I was talking a little bit of stuff about why I don't particularly like Machinist, but, I just found out that you get a third charge of Ghost Round and Ricochet, so, I'm okay then. Just looking at the other streamers. Oh yeah, no worries. I guess for context, just where I am. I'm currently doing the Machinist job quests. I'm in the, like, level 50 to 60 range quests. If that's something you want to make sure you're not spoiled on or anything, because that's what I'm actively doing at the moment. I completely understand if you have to step away, but yeah, just in case. Okay, I'm at level 10. Oh, yeah, gotcha. Gotcha. Don't mind. Yeah, I'm sure by the time you get to the point that you could probably do this, you'll have completely forgotten, so that's all good. Welcome. How are you enjoying the game so far? I'm always curious when people start this, now that I have more context for the game, because I started playing... Also, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. For reference, I started playing in 2020? And I'm up to current in terms of the expansions and that. But now that I have more context about the game, I'm always curious about people who are just starting fresh. Just want people to play with more like a group, so I'm trying to find other new people to run a story with. Oh, gotcha. I mean, reliable ways of Discords and FCs. Obviously, streamers can be fun to kind of go with, but, like, generally, I found personally, like, getting into communities can help a lot more. Obviously, you can get into streamer communities, but then again, I'm not particularly big either. But yeah, that's what I've always found. FCs on your server, there's 14 Discords all over the place for all sorts of different stuff, but that would be my general suggestion. Obviously, like, yeah, if you find a streamer that has, like, a community that you kind of vibe with, like, that's obviously, like, an easy way to get into that too. But yeah. Because I know off the top of my head I guess it depends on what servers you're on too. So I'm in the Oceania data server, or data center. So I'm not in the NA, EU, or the Japan ones. I know Grinding Gear, who have a pretty good community around that. They're on NA. They are fairly late in the story, though, and again, kind of, spoilers, your mileage may vary, but that's, like, main story quest stuff, not, like, side stuff that I'm doing, but, yeah. Either way, it's good to hear you've been having a good time with it. What job did you pick, out of curiosity? Ah, Pelton, there you are. I've sent word of your decision to Telda Grinch. Even with the instructor's added firepower, however, I fear this challenge will test us to our very limits. Rostenthal has vowed to stay with us, regardless of the term of his contract, until the sins of his past have been washed away in Very Sellen's blood. Let us then take advantage of every moment we have from now until the battle to hone our skills to a razor's edge. Cool. Rise of the Machinists. Oh, that's good. Stefanivian has received word on the upcoming trial. Day has
been chosen for our trial against Very Sillen. More than any... oh my god. More than any that have come before, this battle shall be pivotal in deciding the future of the manufactory and machinistry both. Thus, ere we march forth to meet our fate, I would hold a celebration in honor of all that we have accomplished. As has become customary, however, the principal players are nowhere to be found. Pray, head into the city and seek out Joy, Rossenthal, Celestio, and my father. Oh, goody, I have to speak... Really? No, yeah, the day has been decided, but they're all off doing their own thing. Why were they not training right now? I'll head there right now. But before we do, Pebbleton, I wanted to thank you again for helping me find my way. I just got myself back to where I belong, and I ain't about to give up on the workshop a second time. Hell yeah. Joy, if we lose you, we lose one of the best characters in the quest line. I really don't want you to go away. Where the fuck? Oh, right, it's probably in the... That makes sense. Actually, before I head up there, I should probably go and check who's down here. Oh, Celesto. A feast, is it? I can already feel me belly rumbling. As always, the Chief works to make the manufactory a place where commoners like me feel welcome. He's done his best for us, and I mean to do my best for him, even if it means fighting that monster of a dragon. I should be giving him more of a uptight voice, I feel. What? Another bleeding celebration? I guess we never did get to have the first one. Pebbleton, I know the first time I met you, you'd be a demon with a carbine. Bugging me if I weren't right. Now look at us. Ready to stand side by side against one of the biggest bloody dragons ever raid a supply train. I'll get enough through this, though. Don't you worry. Yeah, run off on us again like that, bastard. Oh yeah, back to what I was saying before. Yeah, okay, you eventually get a third charge of these two, so that's no longer a problem. Easy. So you just, before you're gonna burn them, you make sure you burn all of their charges, and then you use hypercharge, and you cannot cap them. Yeah, that fixes it. That's cool too, because that allows for a lot more clever play with those charges too. Because you can hold, or it gives you more room to hold charges and be smart with where you're using them, rather than it being very, like, hard to, or very, very punishing to fuck up, I guess, is probably the way I'd put that. I am invited to the manufactory. Well, how times have changed. Though I appreciate the gesture, I do not have a place at that table. Vowed to leave the Sky Still Matters to Steven alone, and so I shall. Tell my son that I shall pray for victory, and the prosperous future that will grow from his success. I mean, he's asking you not to interfere or run the manufactory. You can still come round for drinks. Like, dude, your son is about to embark on something that may actually get him killed if he's not careful. I think he should be around. I think you should be around for that. No, nothing to say about what's going on. And that's pretty much the same thing as before. Hilton, you should have a nibble. It's all so delicious. I might gobble the lot myself. His lordship says this feast is courtesy of the court, or of the count. I ain't eaten that like this since, well, ever, to be honest. If this is to be me last meal, then I'll die a happy man. Been a good while since I shared a drink with mates. Reminds me of old times. Mistakes I don't want to repeat. Thank you for summoning everyone to the feast. And thank you for Father's message. Eat, drink, and be merry, my friends. Soon we shall introduce very Selene to the rage of the machinists. For the manufactory, and for Ishgard. See how their eyes shine with determination. You are the perfect choice to act as my ambassador. Ever has your presence been a boon to the manufactory. I often wonder what would have become of us had you not chosen to walk the path of the machinist. Though our next battle together will indeed be perilous, it shall also serve to demonstrate the pinnacle of our achievement. When very Selene lies defeated in the snow, we will have accomplished a deed that Teldegrinch and the Holy See believe nigh impossible. When you're ready to make history, join us at the site of the trial in the Curthus Western Highlands. Let's go. Ugh. Although, oh god, you know what? Like I say, okay, we get the 3 charges at level 50, cool. Or sorry, at level 74 or whatever it was, cool. God, doing any duties in that before that level is gonna be a pain. It's like, I'm gonna have to remember, like, oh shit, yeah, I have to remember about that 15-second chunk thing. This kind of thing is a game design choice that I feel like a lot of people often will lump in very quickly with, like, making the game easier. And it's something that's been discussed in the community a little bit. But, like, I don't think that's always the case. Because giving room to not be as strict means that you can play things differently and maybe in a smarter way. So, like, yeah, you could hold charges before, but realistically you save a charge of each of these tops instead of using them on CD. Whereas when you have 3 charges, you know, okay, I can burn these down in 2 GCDs to ensure that I can use Hypercharge whenever I want to make sure I don't burn charges. And you can be smart with that in situations that wouldn't be allowed in the 2-charge thing. So, like, it's not just that the Hypercharge window becomes less strict. It means that these resources are freed up for you to do whatever the fuck you want with it. So if you know a really important damage window is coming up, instead of, you know, instead of sitting on 1 or 2, you can, instead of sitting on 1, you can sit on 2 and burn through multiple charges and fill the fucking off GCD windows as much as you can. It actually gives you more opportunity to be good with them, but it also makes things slightly easier on the lower end, because you can just hit those on cooldown, and then your hypercharge window can be used anywhere. And obviously, if you're using the hypercharge window differently, you need to be a bit stricter, but you can kind of, like, you can mold that to however you think would be best. And I think that's something that is often underappreciated. Actually, you know what I should do before we go here? Sorry, I just realized I forgot something really important about hitting level 60. I think that's something that often goes overlooked in discussions of job design. There are definitely some situations where there are... Oh, I've already got level 60 stuff. Interesting.
but I don't have a 60 weapon. There are definitely situations where making something less tedious makes it strictly easier and nothing else, but you have to evaluate on that a case-by-case basis, because oftentimes freeing up one part of a job's design allows it to be used more fluidly, which can often allow for people to express their skill differently. So, again, you could just use all those charges on cooldown all the time. You don't have to worry about how hypercharge interacts with the charge timers. You're not going to cap. But if you want to be smart and you want to keep those charges for a burst window, then you can actually engage with that. It keeps the skill window open a bit more, and I would argue probably raises it ever so slightly, while still making the baseline engagement a bit easier. Obviously, it's a difficult thing to balance. It's not always consistent, but yeah. Don't I have out of this set? Take that as well. Is there anything that's, like, really bad in this? Yeah, no earring, obviously. Guess the gloves? And I'll float the rest of those, I think. Nice. Kind of a simple gun, but hey. It's fine by me. Triple decker, I don't even play triple triad. Okay, back to where we were going. Because, yeah, there's been, I think, some bad faith discussion about the direction of the game. And, I guess, like, I have a little bit of an advantage in so much as having a baseline other new players wouldn't have, with, like, doing, or, like, diving into WoW as much as I did. And I guess just being kind of, like, a developer and, or previously aspiring game designer, at one point. What does this do? Oh, wow, I didn't realize that actually had an extra button. Yeah. Because ultimately, like, it's giving you more resources, which allows you to be a bit more messy with it, but it also allows you to be a lot more clever with it. And it also allows people to kind of, like, get into the job a little bit more. Because I imagine before those 3 charges there, one of the primary things was... Well, I know Machinist has always been a little bit unapproachable if you don't have a good internet connection, because you have to weave these things into your heat blasts to be able to actually properly utilize the fact that it's restoring your cooldown for that. Weird. But yeah. Anyway. Battle. Let's go. Lord Teldegrinch, my machinists are assembled. We now but await the arrival of the dreaded Very Selene. Oh shit. Sorry, one second. Things are falling down here. Excellent. I am accompanied by a priest of the Holy See, who shall ensure that the trial proceeds in accordance with this guardian law. A wagon has also been provided to tempt the talons of your quarry. I bet this is the fucking guy that was his guard. Same face, I think. The observatorium has been tracking the creature's movements. According to their calculations, Very Selene and its entourage should fall over this pass within the hour. Should the machinists of the Skysteel Manufactory satisfy the conditions of this trial-like combat, either through victory or valorous death, then shall your innocence be proven and your honor redeemed. Should you choose to flee, however, I trust I need not elaborate further.
We shall oversee proceedings from on high, that I might judge thine actions evenly and with uninterrupted view. May justice be served. Ah, your reverence, pray do not avert your eyes should the scene become one bloody carnage. We would not wish to deny these fine combatants a fair trial. Okay. Strategy for the battle is thus. Hit these beasts with everything we have. Deploy every turret and shoot every bullet. We shall bury very Selene under a hail of metal and fire. Joy? Yeah, there it is. Why was I not... Oh my god, was I not actually, was I not actually using my AoE ability? That's weird. Oh. Oh, I didn't realize there were two things going on. What the fuck? Well, I think I need to pay attention more to the fucking thing that was going on. Oops. Oh. Bloody hells, it's massive. That's the thing we gotta kill? As Manufactory Chief, I have but one order for you all. Survive the battle. Oh, shit. Machinists! Protect the fallen! Why do this? Why protect me? Should you but allow the dragons to do their bloody work, you will be free to pursue your agenda. Aye, and if you could argue that you have earned it, after the grief you have caused, I should take what is left of your corpse and string it up for target practice. But if my machinists are truly to be the spear and shield of Ishgard, we must defend all her citizens and with equal zeal. Fear that excessive association with commoners has softened your brain. The oath you have sworn, however, is indeed a knightly one. If you're done yapping, Lord Tittlegrinch, we're a bit bloody busy here. Wag that tongue again, and it'll be the first thing I put a bullet through. You best heed a warning, old fellow. Joy is not one to give voice to idle threats. Till this day, I've observed your battles from afar. What a perfect opportunity for me to evaluate your skills from a more intimate perspective. Fucker, if you approach us at all, there is a bullet with your name on it. Oh, by the Fury, is he still speaking? Leave him, Joy. We have more pressing matters to attend to. Let us shoot a path through the foes arrayed before us. Huh? Oh, I didn't have the... Fuck me. I was one GCD behind. Fuck me. I fucked that up entirely. Oh my god, please.
Cakewalk.
We've done it! The damnable beast is dead. I thank you for saving my life. The accusations against you shall, of course, be withdrawn. As a further token of my gratitude, I would offer you a boon. Speak your wish, and I shall do all within my power to grant it. A boon? You think one little favor will wipe the ledger clean of your steaming shite? Fortunately, my heart has but one desire. I will have your oath that henceforth you shall no longer oppose the rise of the machinists, and never again seek to interfere in the operation of the Sky Steel manufactory. Is that all? No chests of coin, no promises of power? The workings of your mind are truly an enigma to me. But you shall have my word on this, nevertheless. Indeed, we shall discover the best means by which you'll find machinists might contribute to Ishgard's defenses. It is only from behind a sturdy front line that a machinist's full potential is realized. Together with your knights, however, we will change the face of war. Of course. We cannot yet do without the masters of the battlefield. May we strike fear into the hearts of our enemies and ensure the continued prosperity of the Holy See. Fare you well, Lord Stephanivian. I'm going to walk back to Dravania for some reason. Well, that's that then. Thanks for letting me join you on this one, boss. I think I'm ready to move on now. Again. Joy, your aim's as sharp as your RP tongue. Good work, lass. Nominate you to take over as Master of Marksmanship. Hamilton, you're too bleeding quiet, but your weapon speaks loud enough, I suppose. Keep firing like you do, and I reckon you students will flock to the workshop to follow in your footsteps.
Are you truly leaving us?
I've never been the kind of bloke who sticks in one place for too long. You've treated me well at the workshop. Better than I deserve, I reckon. But it's time I weighed anchor. I'll be seeing you then. I will also walk to Dravania for some reason. Should your travels bring you back to Ishgard, know you always have a place at the manufactory, my friend. Shall we be on our way as well?
Is that not... That's Ishgard over there, y'all. Why are you all walking to Dravania? Hey guys! Falcon's Nest is back... Okay. Yeah, no, that's the fucking path that leads to Dravania. Leads to... oh, sorry, the... No, yeah, Dravania. Yeah, no, okay. Yeah, I was right. Why are they all... Okay. Alright. That's cool. Sure. I will say, the little, like, thing with, Teldergrinch there was a little forced. Like, it was very much like, this action has all stopped to, for us to, agree to for you to realize the error of your ways kind of thing. Which, my issue isn't with the battle necessarily, like, taking stopping. It's more like, the dialogue very much felt like it was just inappropriate for that scenario rather than something that happens afterward. Or he flips immediately too, rather than just like... But I guess it does make sense to some degree, because he is so conniving up until this point, that the fact that Stephanivian would even suggest defending him is enough for him to make him go, okay, wait, what? You're defending me? Really? So that is kind of in character in hindsight. Unfortunately, it bears too much parallels to, like, really ham-fisted writing, which, like, it's not the biggest deal in the world, but, like, yeah. Oh, what an extraordinary turn of events. With these troubles behind us, however, I feel the age of machinistry has finally arrived. And you, Pelton, have all but outgrown the manufactory. With Rossenthal's departure, there are none who might compare with your skill at firearms. Pray, take the lessons you have learned to make known the machinist's trade in every corner of Eorzea. You are, of course, welcome to return to us whenever you desire. We shall be here, ever serving Ishgard as her deadliest spear and sturdiest shield. Oh, before I forget, Rossenthal asked I encourage you to push the limits of your marksmanship. I believe his exact words were, so that ye can blast through any pile of shite what might stand in your way. I'm getting better. I'm getting better at the accent. Okay, hold on. So that ye can blast through any pile of shite what might stand in your way. I'm getting better at the accent, don't you think? That's good. That's cute. Just shoot your gun harder. Do a flip. Be cool. Shoot multiple bullets in one go. Why did no one think of this? Fire Edge of Fate. Yeah, and speak to Stephanivian. Yippee! I'm a machinist, not a man. What have we got next? Dismantle, upgrade to the 3 in the combo, a CD for heat gauge, and flamethrower. Oh yeah, I forgot this is like you can continue casting this for 10 seconds thing. Interesting. Alright. Hello. Hi. Hello. Hi. Hi. Machinist's choice. Stephanivian appears delighted to see you. Hamilton! How fortuitous that you should choose this moment to visit. Oh, pray forgive my abruptness, but are you acquainted with Ishgard's watch and the commoners who fill its ranks? Sort of, I think? Truly, you've worked with Hilda before. Oh, splendid. Absolutely splendid. Let us then discuss the problem at hand. Following our fair city's shift to a more egalitarian form of government, there has been talk of arming the city watch with machinist weapons and equipment, the very type of initiative which I have long advocated. And as part of this plan, I have been asked to provide a competent instructor. But as dearly as I wish to fulfill this request of Hilda's, I'm afraid suitable candidates for the role are in woefully short supply. What about Joy? Surely you've heard the news of Alamigo's liberation, yes? Oh. Well, the aftermath of that little conflict has seen the manufactory swamped with commissions for both materiel and marksmen, and I've not a single machinist to spare. I was even forced to relinquish Joy, my indispensable right-hand woman, to some far-flung deployment. And so, Pelton, you must see your presence here this day strikes me as something of a godsend. Who better to accept this position than our most accomplished machinist? I understand, of course, that you have your own business to attend to, and can hardly spend every waking moment training the watch. Thus, I do intend to share your duties with our old friend Rostenthal. You know, the guy who just left before and has renounced it yet again. I'll sure I will strong-arm him with drink or coin or something. Aside from his extensive knowledge of firearms, he was once the Commodore of the Knights of the Barracuda. Such experience should prove invaluable to the Watch's leadership.
He is the natural choice to serve as your partner in this enterprise. From what I've been told, our former instructor has was recently spotted arriving in Idleshire. Pray come along, Pelton, and lend me a hand in persuading the foul-mouthed brigand to return to Ishgard. Just when I get out, they bring me back in. Bastards. The coin better be good this time, Stephanivian. Bastard. Have you seen this place, Pebbleton? My prospectometer is simply overloaded by such potential. Why, the goblin technology amassed in the main square alone could keep me tinkering for days. Not that we'll be here nearly that long. Rosenthal is a striking fellow. Someone is bound to have noticed him. Shall we ask around? Sure, I don't know where... Oh, actually, no, I know exactly who to ask. The person I would ask immediately is... Midnight... Yeah, no, okay, yeah, good. Yeah, exactly. Why would I not ask Midnight Dew? Walking Atlas. Can I interest you in a guided tour of... Oh, just a question. I have seen such a man. He was just walking down the street, as a matter of fact. Oh. Are we gonna see him with Midnight Dew, maybe? If he was gonna go anywhere and look for work, this would probably make the most sense. Eloise. Big lad with an eye patch, yes. I marked his passage as I would that of any dangerous beast. Stay your path, and you'll find him like as not. Ah, yes, he just entered. How did you know? I've seen your man. Headed into the hard place he was. All swarthy and mysterious-like. I had a half a mind to follow him in there. Damn. I love her. Oh. Oh, no shit. I did not notice this. I didn't know this guy existed. Hey, bud. Surprise. Again. See if you've kept one step ahead of me, Pelton. At least this time around, our dear instructor was not so damnably difficult to locate, eh? I thought I heard some familiar voices. What brings the two of you all the way out of here? Not just so yearning to glimpse this ugly mug again, that much is certain. Ah, astute as always, my friend. We have, in fact, come with an offer of employment. Told you I was done. You want me to teach trigger work again? Bugger that. Why don't you have Joy do it? Joy is far too humble to fare well as an instructor, and is fully occupied by other manufacturing business besides. You also have considerable experience with commanding a military company, if I'm not mistaken. He also has that. Oh, you bloody daft, or did you just forget? My piss-poor leadership on the Kudas is what ruined me reputation in the first place. Do you honestly reckon a man like me is fit to take charge and train in your city watch? Yeah, no, he'd probably challenge him. If you have the stones for it. Trying to tickle me pride, lad. Bah, you seem damn determined not letting old pirates sit and rust in peace. Then this means you accept? Trim your sails there, boss. I'll make me final decision after I've had a chat with this lass what leads the watch. Yay, Hilda. Seems we must arrange a meeting with Hilda. Would you mind handling the introductions? My thanks. Now, I really should be getting back to the workshop. I have a small mountain of munitions to make if I'm to honor all these commissions. Do the manufactory proud, my friends. Ugh. Just when I was getting bleeding warm again. I'll see you in Ishgard, Pendleton. People can't leave me the fuck alone. I want to enter retirement, damn it. I don't think that trope ever gets old, though. Oh, this is the end of it? Oh, okay. I was expecting a little bit more of a thing to this, but maybe not. Oh. Champion. Well, I'm not certain what your business is. That your business is most pressing. I must ask that you allow me to first conduct mine. You picked a fine time to visit, no mistake. I'm afraid you'll have to wait your turn. Hilda's got her hands full with this one. Are we clear, or must I repeat myself in simple terms? I expect very little from you lowborn riffraff. You wish to serve Ishgard, then know your place. Keep well out of our way. Yeah, I mean, this is kind of the thing that gets left unaddressed in Heavensward. It's like, you can change the system of government all you want. Like, the fact of the matter is that the caste system in this whole place is so ingrained over thousands of years that it's not going to break down immediately. And that's not a bad thing, I want to know. Like, leaving this kind of thing open and unaddressed isn't bad because you can make more story out of it in the future. Like, very much like 5.4 and talking about Limsa's involvement. Limsa's, like, blatant involvement in exploiting the tribes. It makes for good story later on when we finally have to reckon with it and it comes ahead because of a relevant reason. So I like that we're bringing this back to the forefront again. It's not disappearing from the machinist thing because it's very much like front and center because now we're also working with the mongrel essentially to arm them and make them better in the eyes of people. But yeah, obviously that's not going to solve everything here. Bastard blue blood. You not wag his tongue like that if his boss was around. Fine day to you, Pendleton. Little bird told me you'd be on your way. The lads and lasses were well pleased to hear they'd be learning at the foot of Ishgard's savior. Can't remember how much of an accent she had. And you must be Rossenthal, eh? I'll warn you right now, the Watchers are raw lot. They ain't used to formal training, and you'll need to work 'em hard before they'll count for more than cannon fodder. Work 'em hard, you say? Well, I do things the pirate way, lass. I'll have 'em pissing blood and wailing for their mums by first bell. Oh, we'll see about that. I don't know about Limsa's back alleys, but the Broom's not a place what suffers wilting daisies. What my lot lack in skill, they made up for in spirit. Ha! I like a challenge. Now, tell me more about how this Watch of yours fits into Ishgard's defenses. Well, we're officially back in the arms of the Eorzean Alliance, ain't we? And if the Temple Knights are marched out to deal with some crisis, the streets will be left a touch thin on soldiers. That's where the Watch comes in. We've been something of an independent operation till now, but the houses want to put us on the payroll. They mean to use our numbers to plug the holes in the walls, as it were. The best part is we get paid to do more of what we was doing for naught, according to our purses and food in our bellies. Can't complain about that. Aye, the arrangement's not to everyone's liking. There's inquisitors and nobles alike looking to trip us up at every turn. I ain't keen on the idea of commoners being armed and organised. Reckon the only way to shut those bastards down is by convincing everyone else that the watch is something worth keeping. But if we mean to prove ourselves, we need proper equipment and training. That's why I took most of the coin we'd been given and went begging to Lord Halynart. Now we have firearms and 2 clever blighters to teach us how to use them. You already had a fire... Okay. I've heard enough. You can't properly protect folk what don't recognize your authority. Just do as old Rossendal says, and we'll soon teach them bastards to respect you. Here's what we're going to do first. Gather a crew of your finest lads and lasses and slap a name on them. One what will get them naysayers to sit up and take notice. What? You mean like an elite company like the Dragoons of the Heavens Ward? I reckon a good name might impress some of the highborn, but I'll be buggered if I can think of one. Oh, let's see. How about Ilda's Hounds? Oh, you mean Hilda's Hounds. Oh, well, I do like the sound of that. What do you say, lads? As soon as I've unpicked a crew for the Hounds, I'll start teaching them the basics. And after they've had a chance to learn barrel from stock, you can come back and test their skills. Sound like a fair division of labor? Yep. Right then. I'll whip them into shape before you know it. Let's see just how tough these broom-born bastards really are. Oh, this is gonna be good. I hope this is good. This is stacking up to be pretty good. Yeah. Next available at 63. Requirements for it, yeah. Yeah. So, that's it for... That's it for Machinist today. Yeah, good. Nothing like, again, nothing literally incredible, but I think just good all around, honestly. Yeah, like I think the thing with Joy got resolved like kind of immediately. I feel like there wasn't enough of a like really like tying in of Joy of the thing Joy got set onto and tell the Grinch. Like, he just came up afterward to kind of laugh in our faces and then walked off, not really like connecting it or anything. I feel like, and I guess that's kind of the point, is that he's kind of he's a bit too conniving for us to pin him down really easily like that. But it kind of lacks like this kind of intertwining completely. That I think would have worked better for me personally. It's not like, this, not to say that things written bad. I think it's just like there could have been a little bit more of like actually tell the Grinch being like, yeah, I did that, but what are you gonna do about it? I'm too smart for all of you, and you're just people with guns, so fuck are you gonna do? And I like the overall theme of kind of like this clash between like the nobles and commoners, and Stefanivian trying to legitimately try and improve relations by actually giving commoners the ability to like actually defend themselves rather than just being pushed around by the knights and all that shit. I think it's a really good thing to hinge a lot of this on, because it creates a lot of natural conflict in Ishgard that you can kind of use as part of the story. And I'm not expecting all of that to be resolved by it. I think it'd be kind of weird if it did. Also, like, it's a side quest. It's not gonna have that much effect on things. And yeah, this next one is probably gonna stack up to be the favorite, I think. It really sucks that Hilda gets introduced in the MSQ pretty late and then just kind of doesn't do much, honestly. Like, Hilda's such a fucking cool character considering the situation she's in, and is an interesting kind of counterbalance to Livia, sorry, as two people who otherwise would have been pretty shunned from Ishgardian society, but Livia follows Emmerich and has stayed in like kind of high regard in that, whilst
Hilda has leaned into her reputation as kind of, is she the one that was called a mongrel? I feel like she was. I might be wrong. But yeah, like, that seems like such an interesting character to just leave off the table for, like, further MSQ stuff. So I'm glad we're spending more time with her here. Yeah. Machinist is shaping up to be pretty good, I think. My misgivings with the mechanics aside, I think Job Quest's pretty good. Yeah. Right, so yeah, that's gonna be it for today. Probably not gonna get, to level 80 to finish out the rest of it by the end of the week. I don't want to burn through it that quickly. So I'm thinking at some point of doing the Warring Triad. It's been brought to my attention that might be worth doing now that I'm kind of where I am, and now that the Endwalker story is where it is. I know, like, very surface stuff about it, and a character involved in it. And I agree, it is something I probably should look into doing. It's something I really wish I had done earlier on. But yeah, that is something I'm considering. I'm probably gonna see how hard it would be to put groups together for it first, though. Because that could be something that, like, I'd need to set aside a night to do and have something to do in the background while I'm kind of going through things. Doing something like, I don't know, I started to do the herbalist stuff on stream when I was waiting for the Shadow of Ma storyline, so maybe I can follow through with that or something. But yeah, that's roughly my plans for during the week. I think the rest of the week is going to be busy for me. I'm not really sure. So it could be Warring Triad on Friday. I'll see how the queues are, like, just rush through a quest here and there and, like, ignore what's going on and see how the queues are. There's also Elden Ring, obviously, and Blasphemous. I'm probably not going to get to Blasphemous. It's probably just going to be Elden Ring or 14, to be honest. Assuming I don't... Or Thursday night, I definitely can't do anything, so it'd have to be something Wednesday, because I'm probably not going to do anything tomorrow. Yeah, we'll see what happens, but, yeah, those are the rough plans. And then on the weekend, more El Paso elsewhere. Game's fucking good. Game's real fucking good. I want to get back to it. And the actual finale of Paradise Killer, with Mina. So, that's going to be a little bit later in the day than it would be otherwise for the weekend, but other than that, yeah, pretty much the same as I did last weekend. Yeah, that's about it. So, thank you very much for watching live or on the VODs. I really appreciate it. Hope you all have a lovely day, and I hope to see you all next time.